What am I going to jail for?
Do not resist.
I'm not resisting.
Put your bag there. Put your bag there.
Is there any way we can pay for these items?
No, there's not any way that you can pay for the items.
You know, in some circumstances I've seen on TV.
Unfortunately, this isn't TV.
The story you are about to hear is not just a viral video on the internet. It is not a humorous moment, and it is certainly not harmless entertainment. It is a very real snapshot of modern America, where the line between right and wrong is being worn down day by day, aisle by aisle, and moment by moment with the excuse, "I'm just taking it for now." The image of a woman pushing shopping carts piled high like mountains, walking confidently as if she were shopping in her own family's store, without lowering her head, without rushing, without fear, that was not accidental. It was the result of a mindset that had been cultivated for a long time.
See how this works is you can't take stuff from inside and not pay for it and take it out and then return it. That's called fraud. It's called stealing. That's how that works. You kind of have to pay for stuff before you return it.
I got the mail half the same. I think 54 and 56 are...
Can I turn off my stuff, please? Can I turn off my stuff, please?
54, yeah, we got both detained. We can go back to Maine.
Is there anything I can do? Can I pay for all the stuff besides go?
No. That's not how it works.
I'm not being sarcastic.
No, I'm not being sarcastic either. You're an
Can
adult. You can't steal stuff from the store, 2 cartloads full of stuff, and then say, "Oh, I'm in handcuffs now. Now I want to return it." Okay? Is this your driver's license in here?
My driver's license is not in there.
It's not in here?
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't think so.
You wouldn't think so?
Okay. Well, can I tell them to pick up the car? Because I do have a car here.
We need to get a receipt for everything. So hold on, we'll take this
That's
one
my
too
uncle.
once he's ready.
And that's my brother.
Is that who was with you?
No, that's not him.
Who is with you?
That's my god brother.
Your god brother?
Yes.
What's his name?
Junior?
Junior?
Yes. Yeah, that's my brother. Can you turn it off, please?
I don't even know what it is.
It's just on the screen. No, just light it up, please. Can I make a call for the car?
No.
You have anything with me sticking your hermit and needles in there?
No.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm going to go with you so that way we can get the receipt and you'll go to the office. What?
We'll put her in the same car with Mark, have Mark watch them both, and then...
No. They do not go in the car together. No.
You passed that already.
We're already done with that.
You're done with that. You stole the bags to begin with.
No, that's my bag.
No, you stole these bags to begin with. Your sticky hands got into my stuff. Look, there they are. You even have more. In your own personal bag that you just said is yours.
That is my personal bag.
And who's
And
in
I'm
yours?
ready that. I'm ready that.
Take that.
Can I pay
Put
for
her
my
in
stuff?
your car, and then he can go in his car.
I'm sorry?
And then I'll get everything started and go from there. Yeah, just start getting IDs and we'll go from there.
She was not sneaking around. She was not looking over her shoulder. She packed the merchandise inside the store itself, moving through each department like a VIP customer. And when she was stopped, her first reaction was not shame or panic, but surprise. Surprise that she was stopped. Surprise that she was handcuffed. Surprise that things were not playing out the way she had imagined. That is the moment that made many viewers feel angry. A kind of confidence built on the belief that the law is flexible, that everything can be negotiated. But real life is not reality TV. And the law does not have an undo button. When the police arrived, no one was yelling. No one used force. No one escalated the situation. They spoke calmly, clearly, sentence by sentence, but every word landed like a hammer striking reality. You crossed the line. Not once, not by accident, but deliberately, the woman tried to explain. She talked about returning the items. She talked about it being a misunderstanding. She talked about her car in the parking lot, but none of those explanations touched the core of the issue. You cannot take merchandise out of a store without paying for it and then pretend nothing happened. That is not a mistake. That is fraud. What stood out even more was the way she tried to negotiate. Can I just pay for it now? In that moment, many viewers shook their heads. That question revealed a dangerous belief that is spreading. If you get caught, you can simply pay and walk away. No, that is not how it works. In the United States, the seriousness of an action is not determined only by the dollar amount, but by intent. When you gather items, conceal them, package them, pass the checkout area, you are clearly demonstrating intent to take. And when the value crosses a certain threshold, it stops being a minor offense.
Allowing what?
Because they won't have a car.
I don't know what you're asking me. I'm
If
confused.
my people think, if the car owner can come pick up the car,
We'll figure that out.
I'm being very respectful.
No,
I
you
know
are.
I'm
Yeah, I
fucked
know.
up.
I know. Yeah, I
I'm
know.
being very
I know.
respectful.
Yes,
I'm not
you are.
trying to disrespect you. I'm just asking if it's a possibility that I can call.
Okay,
and I can
we'll
pick up the
see.
car.
We'll see on depending on how you cooperate from here on. Okay.
Okay, no problem.
All right. I'm gonna read you real quick your rights. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta help me on this real quick.
Can I do it?
Just your cuffs real quick. Make sure they're locked.
Oh, I'm not gonna.
No, I know. No, not like it's locked in terms of like so it won't get tighter for you. So it doesn't like put more pressure on your wrist.
Okay.
Okay.
It becomes a charge that can follow you for years. This does not only affect the person who is arrested, it affects everyone. Store employees face increasing pressure. Prices rise to cover losses. Security measures become stricter. Honest customers are treated like suspects, and communities slowly lose the sense of safety in spaces that once felt familiar. Shoplifting is no longer an isolated personal act. It is becoming a systemic problem.
I, county expense to represent you before any questioning if you so wish. If you can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. Do you understand each of these rights I have explained to you?
Yes.
Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to me or talk to us?
Say me?
Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to us?
Well, about the carving.
About everything that just happened now.
I'm asking you, can we pay for my troubles instead of going to jail? Because I know.
Well, listen. Having these rights in mind, do you wish to talk to us?
I'm talking to you.
Yes or no? I need a yes or no.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, I don't know exactly what happened. Yeah.
Do I have his ID?
No. Your ID.
No, I don't have my ID.
You don't have your ID? None of
No,
these three.
that's my uncle and my cousins. We went out, so they didn't have a bag.
Okay. Social.
Can you call my husband off my phone?
Huh?
Can you call my husband off my phone? Like, can you do it? Like, just go to the contact and tell him to pick up. I could just say, come pick up the car.
Like I said, I'm gonna figure that out at the end. Your car is the least of your worries right now. Literally, your least of your worries. That's the last question you need to be asking right now. There's a lot of things we gotta figure out first, because obviously you committed a crime. So we're gonna.
That's what I'm asking. Pay for it myself.
So I'm gonna ask you once and once only, okay, about what happened, and you need to tell me the exact truth. If you don't tell me the exact truth, that's gonna be on you. Okay? So tell me from exactly what happened, what you stole, everything, from literally where you went.
Towels.
So huh? So what time? Who do you come here with?
I came here with my godbrother.
Okay, and what car?
This a white Chrysler.
Huh?
A white Chrysler.
A white Chrysler. Okay. And it's parked in the parking lot right now?
Yes.
Okay. So then you parked in the parking lot with your godbrother, and what's his name?
Junior.
Junior? Okay, with Junior. And then after that, what happened after that?
I went in and I grabbed some towels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Grab some, that's it. So you're telling me all you did is grab some towels, no other items?
No, it was mainly towels and
So you're admitting to stealing these towels?
I'm compromising with you.
Okay, I know.
I'm not trying to be the trouble.
No. I'm just understand. I want to understand that you're admitting to. You're understanding that you just. I want you to understand this is a crime. Like you understand that's wrong, right?
I totally understand, but I'm not going to give you extra trouble. Like I'm not a trouble. I'm not trying to give you problems.
So you admit to taking the towels without paying for them, and also what else do you admit to taking?
The towels without paying for them, and what else was in the cart? It was some a knife set. It was a knife set.
Okay.
Others do it because they have seen others get away with it. And when those behaviors are normalized online, when videos circulate with half-joking, half-casual tones, a dangerous message is sent. This isn't a big deal, but to the police, to the courts, to legal records, it is a very big deal. The moment the woman realized she could not buy back her freedom with a credit card was the moment the curtain fell. No more circular questions, no more negotiation, only the right to remain silent, handcuffs, and a new reality she was forced to face. And that moment also makes many viewers wonder, if she had not been stopped that day, what would have happened next? Would the behavior have repeated? Would the boundary have been pushed even further? This story is not meant to humiliate an individual. It is a warning, a reminder that society only functions when laws are respected and when people understand that even small actions have consequences. There is one detail in this story that many viewers initially overlook, but the more you think about it, the more unsettling it becomes. It is the way the woman constantly redirected the conversation. When asked about the theft, she did not focus on what she had done. Instead, she talked about the car, about calling someone to pick it up, about handling it later, as if the real problem was not the crime, but her personal inconvenience. This is not a random reaction. It is a very familiar psychological pattern in modern society. Avoiding responsibility by focusing on minor consequences instead of major causes. When faced with serious wrongdoing, the mind tries to downplay it, rationalize it, or simply avoid it. Many Americans have seen this pattern everywhere, in small frauds, in running red lights, in phrases like, everyone does it. It does not start with 2 carts full of merchandise. It starts with a test, a moment of thinking, I'll probably be fine. And that is what makes this story more frightening than an ordinary theft. The woman did not appear panicked. She was not shaking. She was not crying. She did not lose control. On the contrary, she remained relatively calm, even irritated at times by the interruption. That is the sign of a deeply rooted belief. The belief that the system would not touch her. For years, society has sent mixed signals. On one hand, the law exists. On the other hand, stories about people not being charged, not being prosecuted, or just being warned spread widely. When those stories are repeated often enough, they create a collective illusion. Consequences are for other people. But the legal system does not operate on feelings. It operates on evidence, on value, and on intent, shown through behavior. When you collect items from different departments, when you package them as if they already belong to you, when you pass the point of payment and head toward the exit, when you make no effort to pay before being stopped, all of those details come together into a very clear picture. And in that picture, the excuse, I was going to pay later, has no place. What many people do not realize is that in many cases, large stores do not act immediately. They observe, they document, they allow behavior to repeat, not because they do not care, but because they need enough evidence to establish intent and scale. When the moment comes, they say very little. That is why the moment of being stopped often feels sudden, and that is why many people feel set up, when in reality, they walked into it themselves. When the police begin reading rights, the atmosphere changes. No more casual back and forth. No more bargaining. Language becomes short, precise, procedural. That is when the story leaves the store and enters another world. The world of reports, records, and long-term consequences. A case like this does not end when the camera turns off. It continues in courtrooms, in permanent records, in future job applications, in forms where you are forced to check yes when asked about prior charges. It continues quietly, steadily, persistently. Many viewers only see an embarrassing moment. But those who have experienced the system understand that this is the beginning of a chain of consequences no one wants to think about in that moment. And the irony is this: many people who make this mistake do not believe they are criminals. They do not see themselves as bad people. They simply believe they are smarter than the system. That is the fake rich illusion, not rich in money, but rich in a sense of entitlement. The feeling that you can walk into any space, take anything you want. That illusion is fed by social media, by clipped stories, by videos that only show part of the truth. It makes people forget that the system does not need to win every time. It only needs to win once. That moment made many viewers feel both angry and sad. Angry at the disregard for the law. Sad because a foolish decision can leave long-lasting marks. And that is when this story moves beyond one individual. It becomes a mirror for a larger issue. When society begins to ignore small boundaries, larger ones are soon tested. There is an uncomfortable truth society avoids. Many wrong actions do not start with bad intentions. They start with blind confidence that there will be no consequences. The woman in this story did not walk into the store thinking, "Today, I will commit a crime." She walked in thinking, "Let's see what happens." And that thought is the most dangerous part. When everything seems to be going fine, when no one speaks up, when no one stops you, the human brain quickly interprets silence as permission. No one stopped me, so I can do this. No one arrested me, so I must not be wrong. Step by step, the boundary moves. At first, it is just a few items, then one cart, then two, then packaging items inside the store as if they are already yours. Every step makes sense in the person's mind, until the entire picture becomes painfully clear to everyone else. When the value is totaled, when the behavior is examined as a whole, there is no room left for, "I was going to return it," or "I didn't know." The law does not look at fragments. It looks at the entire chain of actions. And that is when many people realize that what they thought was a gamble, the system sees as evidence. The consequences of cases like this rarely arrive in dramatic fashion, but it seeps into life in very concrete ways. Records, probation, supervision, reporting requirements, travel restrictions, and doors that quietly close. A record like this can end a job interview before it begins. It can make renting an apartment harder. It can turn seemingly harmless paperwork questions into moments of anxiety. And the irony is that it all starts from a decision the person once believed was not a big deal. Stores pay a price as well. They must invest more in security, train employees to be alert instead of welcoming, accept that the shopping experience will be less friendly, and in the end, those costs do not disappear. They are passed on to those who still follow the rules. Communities pay, workers pay, honest customers pay, and then society wonders why everything feels tense, why trust is eroding, why everyone feels suspected. This story is not a condemnation of one person. It is a reflection of a dangerous habit becoming accepted. The habit of testing limits. Testing whether the system notices, testing how far you can go before being pulled back. But the system does not need to win every round. It only needs to win one round big enough to remind everyone that the rules still exist. The moment the woman stood there, handcuffed, silent, with no more questions to ask, and no more negotiations to offer, that was the moment the illusion of entitlement collapsed. Not because anyone wanted to humiliate her, but because reality finally caught up with belief, and that moment is worth reflecting on. Because societies do not collapse from rare, major crimes. They collapse when small violations are normalized, when wrongdoing is justified often enough to feel familiar. The final question is not, how much did she take? The question is, what are we teaching each other about right and wrong, when behavior like this no longer shocks us? If this story makes you uncomfortable, angry, or uneasy, then it has likely done its job. Not to entertain, but to remind. Not to judge, but to wake us up. Because the line between just trying it and too late is far thinner than we want to believe. And this is exactly where the story touches something many people do not want to admit. No one believes they are the villain in their own story. That woman, like many others, may have left home that day believing she was an ordinary person, living an ordinary life, simply handling a situation in her own way. But society does not operate on personal feelings. It operates on shared boundaries that everyone agrees to respect. When those boundaries are tested enough times, the system is forced to respond. And when it does not respond emotionally. Perhaps the heaviest part for viewers is not the handcuffs, but the familiarity. Familiar excuses, familiar attitudes, familiar disbelief that, I didn't think it would be this serious, familiar confidence that consequences happen to someone else. That familiarity is the warning, because a healthy society is not one without mistakes. It is one that still feels shame over mistakes, still knows when to stop at a boundary, and still respects the law, even when no one is watching. The story ends here, but the question does not. It follows viewers off the screen, into stores, into everyday decisions, when standing in front of a seemingly harmless choice, when thinking it'll probably be fine. Not to threaten, but to remind, because freedom is not lost in a single day. It is lost little by little, every time we decide that rules are optional when inconvenient. And when we finally realize it, the cost is often far greater than we ever imagined. If you have stayed with this story until the end, then you likely understand why this is not just one incident. It is a mirror, and everyone who looks into it sees a different part of themselves. If you have made it this far, thank you for taking the time to think along with us. This is not just a video to watch and forget. It is a reminder of very real boundaries in everyday life. If you found this story worth reflecting on, please subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and share this video with anyone you think should see it. Every subscription helps us continue bringing you stories that are honest, direct, and unafraid to face reality. Thank you for being with us. We'll see you again in the next story.
Hey, Martin. You 54, you 29 check him?
Are you really going to ask for the, because I don't want it to be.
Oh, 56, 1092. Huh?
Denver.
Tell me?
Yeah, 782.
Okay.
No way we can like pay our trouble.
No, ma'am.
you're
That point has already been passed, and it's a felony amount of what
it's
you
a
took.
felony?
Yeah, it's a felony. Anything over $750 in the state of Florida. It's like $782 total. Okay. What's your first name?
Alexis.
Lexus or Alexis?
Alexis.
Alexis. A-L.
EXIS. I thought he got all the information on it.
Yeah, that's all right. I like to get it myself. How tall are you?
I don't know, 5'4".
How much do you weigh?
I'm not sure. I'm not trying to give you a hard time. I really
No,
don't know.